Hey, Nicholas with some more adventures in locksmithing, doing another one of my kind of looking at pop culture, looking over at sci-fi. Usually I talk about that stuff over on my other channel, the Backyard TARDIS. I'll put a link down in the description below. But this time we are going to talk one of my favorite properties, Doctor Who. And in this one, the TARDIS is picked open with a hairpin. And so what we do with these videos is we kind of look at them and we go, how did those compare to reality? So let's go ahead and watch the clip.
The key.
Oh, do you want me to do it with a pin?
Okay, first, right off the bat, we're going to talk about whether this would work on the lock that is there. And while technically you could form a pick and a turning tool out of a bobby pin, you would have to do a little bit of work. It would not just work off the end. This is most likely, although it's European, like here in the US, that style lock is typically produced by Yale. So think of like a Yale key, but there'd be other ones in Europe. But that's a very basic, simple little lock. But the fact of the matter is, it's still, well, it could be picked with that. The turning tool is the big thing, because that would take, you would have to kind of hammer the end, make it that. There are YouTube videos where someone shows, oh, here's how to use a paper clip to make a pick and pick open a lock with nothing but paper clips. You cannot just pull the bobby pin. And this is something that classic Hollywood used to do all the time. They would just show somebody picking, and sometimes they'd be wiggling two picks, but they'd never have the turning tool. And it used to be kind of a taboo thing. You don't show that in media because you're not teaching people how to lockpick. Well, with the adventure of YouTube, there are so many how-to lockpick videos that Hollywood now actually shows this stuff. But the idea that she just pulls a hairpin out and she's wiggling it in the lock, no, that would not open it. This is not simple enough of a lock for that. This is not like a desk drawer or something like that where that would happen. And of course, no matter whatever you're wiggling with, you have to have turning pressure. Unless it's something like a file cabinet where it actually has weight hanging on the lock, getting it picked doesn't automatically make the lock turn. You have to be putting the pressure to turn while you're picking to get that to happen. So even on the physical lock that's on the TARDIS, that the chameleon circuit has made, even if it was that actual thing that is being shown there, I don't think it would work. But there's another layer here.
Multi-dimensional, triple encoded temporal interface, not really susceptible to pointy things.
So, as the doctor just pointed out, multi-dimensional, triple encoded. Yeah, the Daleks, one of the most advanced warlike species in the thing, super scientists too, they can't get the TARDIS open. They're doing all that. Like, if you could just pick it open, would it open? Like, you can't sonic the TARDIS open. The TARDIS has an immense amount of security. The number of alien beings who have tried to break into the TARDIS, and just the idea of her being able to, like, that's just completely ridiculous. Can't happen. Can't, like, the concept of this, like, I already say in realistically, but in the sci-fi world, like, it just can't happen, which is why this happens.
Got it.
Okay, suddenly the last 900 years of time travel seem that bit less secure. Frank?
She opens it. We already established physically with a regular lock, that's not possible. Story-wise, that's also not possible. Now, some will say, well, it's, we have to show the woman all powerful. But honestly, I look at this, and I look at Moffat's style, and this is what's funny. It shouldn't work. It should be impossible. And boom. Just not susceptible to pointy things. Got it. That's the humor of it. It's specifically absurd that she opened it. And that's why it's funny. But yes, from a physical standpoint, even if it wasn't the TARDIS, if it was a regular police box, she would not have been able to pick it open merely with a bobby pin pulled from her hair. Now, everyone, I saw it on... Yes. If you sat there with pliers, crimped that bobby pin, took 2 of them, and you had one that you flattened out and made into a turning tool, she could do it. But just taking a bobby pin out of her hair and wiggling it up and down, and it's more like it's old-fashioned, so it's just kind of a straight pin. It's not some malleable thing. She would not have been able to pick that open. However, the doctor is classy. And this is something that every locksmith wants to hear from a customer.
Thank you for taking care of me. You didn't have to, you know. You've been very kind.
The doctor graciously thanks her. As a locksmith, when somebody thanks you when you do something, it really lifts you up. You feel like the hero. On the other hand, when somebody, he was making the comment, well, am I really that secure? When you go to a door and you open it up so fast, they're like, wow, do I need better locks? Which is kind of, he made a little joke about that. But you know what he didn't do? He didn't then go, wow, if it was that simple, I shouldn't have even called you out. He couldn't get it open. She did. He thanked her. And that's with a locksmith. Like, I've had people where you pick the door open, the door goes open really fast, real quick, like we saw for her there, and people will go, was that easy? I'm not paying you. I'm not paying you for that. And I'm like, what? You sat out here for over an hour waiting for me. I drove from another city to get here to let you in, and that entire time you didn't figure out how to open that lock. It doesn't matter if I got it open in under 30 seconds. What matters is I drove here, and the majority of I'm only charging you $10 for opening it. The majority of my charge is for driving there. But I've had people get that, and they go, if I knew it was that easy, I would have just broken it off and bought a better lock. That they get irate and upset because you can do something they can't. And it is funny, but it's just the way it is. Now, I've never, maybe. Tell me, plumbers, electricians, different ones in here. Tell me, do you go do something and you fix a leak with just a twist of a wrench and somebody gets really mad? Because I've always been, oh, thank goodness it was that simple. Because I thought it was worse, and I thought it was going to cost a lot more. I thought you were going to get here and tell me some valves, and you're going to have to drive back to town, and you're going to have to go get that and come back, and it's just going to start ballooning up from the initial quote. And so when it's like, boom, fix it, took 5 minutes, I mean, I might feel a little dumb. I might feel a little less masculine, like, how come I couldn't figure that out? But you know what? At the end of the day, I am just so glad that you did it so fast and that you're going to not charge me that much. That my always worry is it's going to become something a lot bigger. It's like when car won't start and the mechanic comes out and they're like, didn't you check your battery? You got a dead battery. And you're like, why didn't I thought it was a starter. Why did I think it was a starter? It was the battery. I'm dumb. I'm an idiot. Why didn't I check that? But you're like, all I have to do is buy a battery. Thank you. I don't actually have to have this mechanic actually, I'll pay him some money for coming and looking at it or whatever, but I'm out ahead. I was thinking, oh man, hopefully it's just a starter. Hopefully it's not like the computer's gone bad or something in the car or some other mechanical thing and it's going to cost thousands of dollars. I just got to go buy an $80 battery? Thank you. So that's always when somebody gets you in fast and then people get it. But the doctor's not like that. The doctor's classy and the doctor gives what every locksmith wants, which is just thank you for helping me. Because then the locksmith walks away and he feels great about his job. But when people suddenly act like you're the enemy, you're preying upon their disadvantage of being in a situation, it's like this mentality like the government should be paying for locksmiths to come out for free or something. It's just kind of one of those weird things. It's like, no, I'm just trying to make a living, but I'm also trying to help people. And so, but people, they look at the amount of money that something costs, and they're just like, oh, you're scummy, you're preying upon me. It's like, no, it costs money to do this, and I like it when people are grateful. So anyways, that's just some more adventures in locksmithing, getting a little Doctor Who up here, and I hope everybody enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next episode.